Okay, we're gonna chat briefly about the ideal client. Someone asked, with regards to target market and all that good stuff. Target market being, who you want to buy your service or your product. Um, Ideal client. It's going to be different for everybody. Um, in your planning stages, you want to sit down and determine that. And there's a few things that everybody should do, prior to your business plan, prior to starting branding. Sit down and brainstorm and map out your ideals on a lot of things, not just your ideal client, but map out um, how much money you want to make, how many days a week you want to work, um, what you want your workload or your client base or your products out, what you want your numbers to look like. Okay, so if you're in the service industry, how many clients do you want to serve comfortably? If you're heading down the entrepreneurial path, the biggest piece of that, one of the biggest rewards, is freedom and flexibility. So understand that there's a tremendous amount of work in the beginning, and that you will work harder than your worst boss ever made you work in corporate. But there should be some ideals set around, once you reach your homeostasis balance period, you've done all the front end work and you're starting to see the turnaround that you want. What do you want your life to look like? How much time do you want to spend with your kids? All that stuff. Map that out. The reason I say this is this. How much freedom you want, how much free time you want, how much time you want to spend invested in your business and actually working the business directly ties in to who the ideal client is going to be and how much money you're going to be able to make. Okay, so if you want to work 3 days a week, all right, how many clients can you fit in 3 days a week? Or if you're in a product-driven system, how many, what are the automated tools you're going to use to be able to work when you're not working? How is your business going to make money for you when you're off the clock, when you're golfing, when you're, playing patty cake with your kids, or whatever your vice is that you want to be participating in. But let me not get too far away from the question. Ideal client. Taking into consideration what I just said, your ideal client should move you closer to all of those things that you want to do. Which means the more freedom you want, probably the less high maintenance type of business you want to have. If you need to be a part of every single transaction personally, that's probably not the best format for you. I can tell you what H&A's ideal client is. We like intelligent, ambitious people. People who are invested in their business, because if they're not, it doesn't matter how much money you're throwing at us, our job is going to be that much harder if you're not involved, if you're not helping guide the partnership in the right direction. I like dealing with people who have a sense of humor. Everybody that we deal with is community driven. In fact, if you're not community driven, we won't take you on. And I've, passed on many a project because they were dollar driven individuals, and every business owner should be dollar driven to a degree. I prefer the term success driven. Everybody's definition of success is different. Mine, for our company and our team, is measured on performance and quality of service. That's what makes us successful. In my mind, I've taken on plenty of hardworking, grueling, up to late night projects that paid, very little because I believed in it. I saw the work ethic of the person who came to me and needed help. And, once they'd achieved the success that they wanted to for their business or their product, they came back to us. So another part of ideal client for us are people who are, it's not even about loyalty. The work creates loyalty. The loyalist person in the world can come up to you and contract your services, and if you're under delivering or doing a crappy job, I mean, why would they stay? That's just bad business. Um, but we like people who build strategic relationships, who are willing to help others. H&A is well known for interconnecting its circle of clients, affiliates, associates, friends, community advocates, and introducing them all to each other so that they can benefit financially or otherwise, to have a positive impact not just on their community but on their business. So going back to ideal, get a definition of what your ideal client is. If the ultra micromanager calling you every 5 seconds is going to drive you batty and make you learn to hate your business, how much is that worth to you? To me, that's worth more than dollars. To some people, it's not. In the beginning, most entrepreneurs, especially in a service industry business, are going to take on whatever projects they can get just to get experience under their belt, to spread the word, etc. There's a degree of that that's going to happen. But I would caution you, even at that stage, to be very careful about what you're doing. And don't undervalue yourself. Don't take the chump change jobs just to work. Sitting down and having that ideal discussion with yourself about, how much do I want to work? How much money do I want to make? Who's my ideal client? Those will help you frame who you should be taking on. And it's okay to pass on a job. There's 1,000 beautiful ways to decline. Taking on a project that's going to, make your position within your own company less desirable. So keep those things in mind and sit down and do that work and determine, what are your ideals. And you should know them, and you should know them before you decided to become an entrepreneur. In fact, it's a conversation to have with yourself during that research phase that I always tell you about. Being an entrepreneur is supposed to be about loving what you do. It's supposed to, what sets us apart from other people is that we're passionate about it. We found a way to make money, out of our passion by offering something of quality. And not everybody meets that criteria, and that's okay. I mean, if everybody in corporate up and quit today, Lord, the country would come to a standstill. The world would. So, see if it's the right path for you, and you can really determine that by having some of those, asking yourself some hard-hitting questions and having discussions around your ideals. So, there you go. Don't take crap from anybody. Do what you love what you do, and if things aren't fitting in with that, you'll never be as successful as you could be, whether you measure your success in quality or whether you measure it in dollars. So keep that in mind.